It can help in content generation because in terms of number, in terms of quantity, it can generate different content, various content, which is good. But the quality of the content and how you are telling the story in a wholesome way, like it is not just words, it's how you are setting the camera, moving the camera, designing the light and ambient light or studio light, whatever it is, you are designing the entire thing. Then all the things that make the movie happen, and you are putting a lot of effort in that, in the pre-production, in the production and in the post-production. I have mentioned it, but sometimes sometimes we get carried away and we choose the wrong projects. Sometimes we get persuaded, we choose the wrong projects. We could have chosen a different project, we could have worked with someone else. These are the things we should be aware of, because cinema is a very grand thing. I have mentioned it, and you obviously know. Sometimes when you are in it, maybe you are not that aware of it because you are performing, you are creating it, and you are not thinking of it much. But people who are looking at it, people who are seeing it, observing it, for them, it's something huge. Cinema. For the mass, for the audience, it's a big thing, cinema. For the fans, especially the good fans, critics, cinephiles. So we all have a responsibility to choose the project well, work on it well, and these are basics. But suddenly we get persuaded or maybe carried away, so that we sometimes to test something different, for the sake of change, we do certain things. But we should not forget that inside us we have a lot of possibilities as an actor, as a performer, as a director, as an artist, as a storyteller, as a writer. We have all these things inside us. Now, how we hone our skills, how we live a life so that we can give more, to the audience, in terms of writing, in terms of performing, in terms of direction, in terms of anything you do related to the film industry or cinema, filmmaking. So, to live life is tremendously important, and it can be different for different people, but we all have stories to share. We all have movies to make. We all have performances to give, and we are so involved in the performances, we are so involved in the work. That's why it's part of being, actually, part of being and performing, giving our best to the work, and collaboration, and then telling stories in different ways, innovative stories. And all these things, for some, cinema is a calling. We just respond to it. So we need to make movies like that, so that for the people who are looking at the movies, among the audience or the mass, they can feel that cinema can be a calling, not just something, a product that is going to the market and people are looking at it, which is necessary. Again, there are things people have inclination towards, So it is a product, it will be going to the market, but why we are different is the product is not a mediocre product. The product is not a shallow one. It cannot be a very artistic one. It may not be a very artistic one. It may not be something that is too philosophical, maybe. People can call it meta. It doesn't have to be so, but each director can have his or her own style, and then you can provide a lot of entertainment in terms of, action, comedy, drama, a mix of genres, and then you are creating a product that is giving that entertainment. Sometimes you are creating a movie that is very artistic and in between. But what I want to emphasize on is, and you already know, so I don't need to mention it, choosing the project, when you are choosing the project, before choosing it, you should have some idea what the project is going to be. Not that we are just working on that project, we are working with these people and we are working with so and so and we are gathering a team, not that. Or we are working on this topic, we are working on this script, not just that. But if we do it in a good way, what is going to be the outcome? What is going to be the product? What is going to be the movie after all? So that is crucial. And whatever I talk about, it's of enormous significance, obviously. So people who are in it, in the industry, people who have done movies for a long time, they can relate to it. But movies can provoke discussions, and then movies can provide a lot of entertainment. But if you really love it, if you really, into it, involved in it, then you will just feel like telling a story. You will tell a story that will have all these elements, and each and every aspect of the work that will carry that. So responsible filmmaking and telling good stories, innovation, creativity, the tech, using the tech to tell a story. So all these things will be there. Storytelling, that is something we need to pay a lot of attention to, significance, because it is of tremendous significance, storytelling cinema. I don't want to repeat myself, so whenever someone is making a movie, you already know all these things, so I don't want to repeat myself. But once in a while I keep sharing one or two things that might be helpful for you now, or maybe at some point of time you will come to it and you can relate to it. But it is there for you. So, and also that professional attitude is very important, so that you are a professional, and then whatever you are creating, that is having that professionalism in terms of storytelling, in terms of the things we see on screen, and also what goes behind it, the team working on it. So choose your projects really well. For some, it's a name that you have to carry, you have created over the years. For some, you are starting out, but you have a lot of potential. For some, you have worked for a while, then you have paused for a while, and then you have taken different projects. Now you are looking for something. When we talk to different people, we will find writers, we will find directors, we will find people who can work on a movie, who can write a story, who can create the performances so that you feel like giving the performances and you embark on a journey of a movie. So all these things are there. The discussions should go on. The passion for filmmaking. Occasionally we watch old movies and we talk about it. Suddenly that person is watching a movie, you are watching a movie, and you people share. What is the experience of sharing that movie, watching that movie? And then you share with other people. Have a look at it. During the filmmaking or maybe outside the filmmaking tenure. But that love and passion for filmmaking, that is something we should always have. And experienced people, they know it more. People who have seen a lot, they know it more. Others get carried away. But filmmaking can be a reminder itself. Cinema can be a reminder itself that we need good projects. We need to choose good projects. We need to give great performances, not because of something which is going to come afterwards, but for the sake of the movie or for that time being, you are giving your best. So that is something you should always have a passion for and respect. These are again basic things, but once in a while I keep reminding these things so that you look for people. The things can be very basic things, but people can be very different. So you meet those people and start that conversation, start that discussion, so that we have more good movies, we have more good performances, and what more? People will keep talking. We will keep creating movies, making good movies, appreciating good movies. We need stories. We need stories. We need cinema. It can evolve over the years, but storytelling cinema, something will never change. We need to make more movies. And also the creative people, this is also for the creative people, you have already got it. But once in a while you should look at it. Sometimes maybe you don't need to go to the production stage for a movie. But then one argument or one persuasion can be that you should work on that movie. This is a very different idea, creative idea. But again, you should brainstorm, you should sit with people, you should gather people and ask different opinions, ask for different opinions, and talk to them so that you really think we should go for the production. And all these decisions, that is also important, because once you go to the production stage, a few things you don't change. You have to make the movie, and then it will be something you have to share with the market. But before, if you do a bit of critical thinking as well, criticism, and cinephile obviously, because you have to be a cinephile or a passionate film lover to embark on our journey of film, which is a good film or can be a good film or going to be a good film. But different stages, different people we can sit with. Previously, if we in the pre-production stage, if we talk to people and have different opinions and criticisms, we can save a lot of time and money. And also in terms of people, we can choose different people so that the end product can be a good one. And yeah, stories, their execution, and it's really good to come up with an idea, but the execution of that idea, that is something very hard, and people struggle a lot with this, and it takes time, it takes a lot of experience, because sometimes for the new filmmakers, emerging filmmakers, what happens is when you are starting out, you feel like you are making a movie and that will be a grand movie and that will be a huge success. For some it is, for some it can become a huge success. For some they think that it can become a huge success, but when they are making the film, when they are looking at the final cut, they see that we are not quite there. What happened? What went wrong? So experience and again involvement, dedication, so that you are very meticulous about things, passionate about things, the stories we are telling, the films we are making, ideas to the film, and that involvement is required a lot. And once in a while, you also objectively ask yourself, I wanted to express that idea through the visual language, the cinematic language. I can talk about it in words, I can express in words, describe it. But how it will look like when we make a movie on screen, and then will it convey the thing I wanted to convey? Because maybe using words I can convey it in an easier manner. But when we are making a film with the cinematic language, can we really convey that? Whatever we are seeing on screen, the images and the sound and everything. That is also something really important. It takes a lot of work, experience, guidance sometimes, mentorship, but that passion, that involvement is required. And you cannot teach this to people. People can argue a lot. You cannot teach, even if you have been in this industry for a long time. It is something that calls you. It is something that you go towards. It is something you always love. And that's cinema. So, have great ideas, find a way to execute them, find a way to make those movies, share with friends, people, form a group or a community or a team so that you can discuss movies. All these reasons, and we can have thousands of them, reasons, and beyond reasons. We need to talk about movies. We should make movies. Cinema. Love you all.